What is up guys, JayFerGaming here, welcome back to my F1 2016 career. This is the American Grand Prix. If you are new to my channel, do remember to subscribe and do leave a like to show your support for this series. But yeah, if you haven't seen the races before this one, there's been some great performance from the car. We have stopped R&D on our car, but we still have some great performance. We've had some very successful results and it shows in the standings. 7th place there, so yeah, we're doing pretty well. And yeah, the battle at the top's heating up. The battle for 7th is heating up. The rivalry with Raikkonen is not really heating up because he's probably going to batter me based on the first one, where after 2 races he beat me, which isn't great. But you can see on the left, Haas have upgraded their car quite a bit there. So they're moving still. I think they're in the same position actually, and Williams has actually jumped over us. So yeah, us stopping development has affected us there. It could affect our battle in the constructors as well, but yeah, we'll see what we do. Actually, Scuderia Toro Rosso have dropped down as well, but you can see we've had a great run of form recently. Past 5 races, we've had 2 podiums, 2 other points scoring finishes, and a DNF, so not too bad at all. So into qualifying, our first lap, I am pretty decent around here. I had a bit of a groove in practice, and taking it into qualifying, we're doing pretty well through the final corner. What's it going to be compared to Verstappen? Because usually on our first run, we're not too quick, but actually we were just behind Rosberg there, and just ahead of Massa, and we're still ahead of Massa on our second and final run. I do like to do 2 runs in qualifying. But yeah, we're already in P9, so it's not a bad session so far. But we're coming around the final corner now. We're slightly down, but it's going to be pretty close between us and our first lap. Oh, a bit of oversteer there. And come to the line, I don't think we actually beat our first time. So surprisingly, our first time has been the quickest. But P9, and we're sandwiched by the 2 Williams. So I'm happy with that because we're battling Williams in the Constructors' battle for 4th. So yeah, that puts us in a prime position in that battle. Our teammate's down in 13th, but who knows what can happen. It's a very tricky first corner up the hill, so yeah, I've seen on previous games that contact can happen quite easily, especially with heavy rain on race day. It's been a while since we've had heavy rain, so yeah, this should be a challenge. And it looks like it's going to die off halfway through the race, and yeah, we could have dry conditions by the end, but yeah, we'll start on full wets and probably just slowly move to inters and then hopefully dry tyres, so it should be an interesting one. And in terms of setup, I do change the front wing angle. I felt like that's something that, with the conditions we have at the moment, would be a good addition. And yeah, I was getting so annoyed on the formation lap. I overtook Bottas and I just couldn't, he wouldn't go ahead of me, and I thought, I'm getting sick of the formation lap now, just skip. I thought this would happen a lot earlier, but no, this is the time. So, the American Grand Prix, nice and wet, just how we like it. 5 lights and away we go. Our initial getaway isn't that good, but let's see what we can do into turn 1. We've got a bit of a clear run ahead of us, as Alonso's also had a great start. And Vettel there, Raikkonen's gone very wide along with Verstappen. Raikkonen's gone off the track and he's come back on, made contact with us. There's a yellow flag. I think a Red Bull span out there, but we're up to P7, there's definitely contact. Cars were going wide and just came straight into the path of other cars, and yes, it's actually Verstappen who's taken out his teammate. There's a Toro Rosso off in the background as well. It's a pretty crazy start there, but we continue here in 7th, and we weren't up to speed with the conditions of the track. We took a very different line to the AI through this first sector, but 2nd place seems to have not got a amazing start, but actually it's 3rd even, but Alonso's up in 4th. What a performance so far by the McLaren driver, but we got ahead of Bottas, which is important for our battle with Williams, and there's a bit of a train forming behind Verstappen as Raikkonen's got ahead of Alonso, but we're pretty close to Vettel here, so I'm thinking to go for a move up the inside, and we actually get it done. Nice, very nice there, and yeah, we're very comfortable in the wet. I mean, I love driving. Well, actually, not really love it. I enjoy driving in the wet conditions on this game, because in past games it's been very difficult with drivers without traction control on, but this is very satisfying. If you get it right and have the control, you will reap the rewards, and I feel like I'm doing pretty well in the rain. And we're getting a run on Alonso here, going for the move into turn 1. He's braking incredibly late, and he's actually made contact with the back of Verstappen. I have broke myself, never mind Alonso. Wow, what the hell? He really wanted to outbrake me there, but yeah, it really didn't pay off. You can see with this fantastic camera angle, He just smashes into the back of Verstappen. He just, yeah, he forgot to brake there. I think he must have been watching me, and yep, he's pretty much out the running. I think he's at the back of the field now with damage, so race over for him after a promising start as well, so that's very unlucky. But we move on. We're up to P5, just ahead of Vettel, who's putting us under pressure now. And as we go on, I think it's getting closer towards intermediate conditions. It's becoming a little bit more tricky, and we can see here there's a Haas here of, I think this was Gutierrez, and he just pulled off, and then suddenly there's a burst of smoke from his engine. So I don't know, that's probably an engine failure based on all the other races this season, but yeah, it didn't appear on screen at first, which was strange. But lap 8 now, we're still under pressure from Vettel, and we do go slightly wide in the hairpin, which is going to give him a shot as we get on the curb, don't get the best traction, and we've just gifted the position to Vettel, which is pretty annoying. But with this very long straight and using the LP slipstream, we should have a shot here. Regaining 5th position off Vettel. We're going to go for it into the braking zone, trying to brake late. And then the Ferrari, we've done that, but I think we've got a little bit too wide. We're going off the track. Oh no. And Vettel, what the hell is he doing? Why is he weaving from side to side for no reason? That's actually giving us a shot and regaining the position. So we're ahead, but he's still there. We're going to have to give him the room on the left. And oh, but what's he doing? He's just swiped us off the track. What the hell? And we haven't broken our front wing. Like, wow. So we reverse back onto the track. That's the way to get back into the race. But look at this from Vettel. It looks like he just swipes across me. What the hell? What did I ever do to you? I gave you room, if anything. And look how dangerous this was for reversing back on the track. I wasn't really paying attention, so luckily our teammate didn't crash into us. But look at this on board. He does move to the right for no reason at all. I gave him room, and he just swipes across me. That's one way to get a quick car out of the running. But yeah, it's clearly Vettel's fault, and he didn't even get a penalty for that. We both got a warning, which I found was a total insult. What are you doing, Sebastian? So we're going to have to regroup from this, and we're down to 11th outside the points, and we just need to compose ourselves, and it's actually time to come in for intermediates. And the bad thing is, with that incident, we've dropped behind our teammate Palmer. I didn't know it at this point, but I was thinking I'm going to come into the pits at the end of this lap, but here with Palmer ahead of us, he's going to get first shot, which we've totally been screwed here. And you can see I make a slight movement to the left, but then I realise, oh, we're going to get held up. And I think we would be better off staying out, losing a bit of time on track, being on the wet tyres instead of intermediates, instead of stacking, which I think it could cost you around 10 seconds because the team take a long time after the first car's stopped. So yeah, we stay out. And surprisingly, we did put in a purple first sector, so it's not drying up incredibly quickly, but enough to go onto the inters. So at the end of this lap, you can see in the final sector, I am struggling to turn the car. We don't have as much speed as we had previously, so we have lost out here, but I don't think we will have lost many positions. I mean, after the incident, we were down to P11, so if we can come out in P11, we should be okay. So time for the inters. And some of the other front runners, I think it was Bottas and Rosberg didn't pit on that lap either, because stacking's just going to cost you so much time. So into the box, 3 seconds, not the quickest stop, but we do come out pretty much on our own in 11th. We're ahead of Verline, who's having a fantastic race up in P12. But yeah, we're a little bit behind Perez. We'll have to see what the gap is at the end of the first sector, but as we come through this section, yeah, it's definitely intermediate conditions. So yeah, these are the tyres that I've had my best results in, to be fair. I've been very good on these tyres, and I seem to treat them very well. I mean, me and the intermediates, we're like busy mates, and you can tell we have some great pace catching up to the back. Perez, Kimi Räikkönen is out the race, and what I didn't think about at this point was he's actually my rival, so I'm going to be, well, if I do finish the race, I'm going to be my rival, which will be absolutely brilliant in the battle, and it gives me a shot. So it's an engine failure, of course. The Ferrari is out. We do gain a free position, and let's see if we can take Perez, because putting him under some serious pressure, we do have some great pace. I mean, if we didn't have that incident, I think we'd be fighting over P4 with Vettel, if I remember rightly. But if you look to the left, coming up here, there is Räikkönen in the stricken Ferrari. Game over for him. That puts us up to P9. Perez was incredibly slow there, and yeah, he doesn't seem the quickest. So if we get a decent run into the first corner, we should easily get this position. and that's what we need to do. Recover, take these positions as soon as possible, and yeah, just regain some points that we probably would have deserved earlier on. So we're using the slipstream up into turn 1, up the big hill, out braking Perez, and we've got the inside line, so this should be a simple move. Yes, there we go, halfway through the race, we're back up to P9, so let's see what we can do, close in on Button ahead, and he's battling my teammate who's having a fantastic race for once, so he could get some more points on the board. I've just set the fastest lap of the race, so I have some serious pace at the moment. Button can't overtake my teammate, but my teammate is keeping up with the Williams, which shows how great this car is at the moment, and especially in the wet as well. But we've got to run on the McLaren Honda powered car. Up the inside, are we going to go for it? Yes, we are. Can we get P8? Easy move there. No fight from Button, and now we need to close in on our teammate, and hopefully he doesn't make this too difficult. Once again, we could do a team orders because I'm clearly faster than him, but instead of any team orders, I'll make sure I get the move done. So right on the back of Palmer. It's good to see him up this high. Obviously, he hasn't scored any points in real life, but he's got a few decent points finishes in this career so far. So we're going to go up the inside. This is a move I've done, I think, 2 or 3 times already. It seems like the prime opportunity to overtake as we get a great run out the final corner. And there we go up to P7. Now to fight and go after the 2 Williams, who we are battling in the Constructors for 4th position. So Massa's not too far ahead of us. Bottas is a few more seconds ahead of him, so it could be a challenge to catch up to him, but I have the confidence in the car and my own performance to close in on Massa because I'm feeling great in these conditions. My tyres aren't really going off either, so these can last for quite a while until the dry conditions, if they ever come. But yeah, we're a bit twitchy on the traction, but we have superior traction to the AI, which I haven't said on a previous game before. But here we go, we've got to run on Massa. We're going to go for the late break and move into this left-hander, and yes, we've got it done, keeping it on the track up to P6, and we've made the overtakes look very simple. Maybe they were really simple, but the car does have some decent straight line speed. In terms of setup, it was the middle default setup, and it's working nicely for us. We have enough grip in the first and final sectors, and we have enough straight line speed on these straights. So we're up to P5 as Bottas comes into the pits. And yeah, he's gone on to another set of the intermediates, but I was going to try and wait it out until dry conditions, or try and stretch these tyres to the end of the race, because these tyres, I think, were about 30% worn, so that suggests we can take them to the end. My teammates in the pits, Vettel's coming out the pits. I remember, Vettel, what you did to me earlier on, you bad man. And I just swipe across him, and you can actually see from the replay on board with the Ferrari how close I got to his car. I was always going to turn in, especially after what he did to me earlier on in the race. And now we're actually holding up the Ferrari, but he's on fresh intermediates, but he gets close to me in the final sector, I think it is. But we get superior traction. Our traction, you'll see here, look how close Vettel gets, and then our traction compared to him, we just speed away, and then he just can't catch up to us. It's our speed out of that hairpin and the final corner which is keeping Vettel behind us. It's given us a shot of beating him. So now on the final lap, the track has dried up. If there was a few more laps, I probably would have gone on to dry tyres, but yeah, my tyres are wearing, but not enough for Vettel to challenge me. It's more of the same. We are keeping the Ferrari behind us in these conditions, and it feels absolutely fantastic. So if we can negotiate this final sector, we will get P4, which is an unbelievable thing considering Vettel took us out right here as well. So yeah, you'll see Vettel is right on the back of us. But we get decent traction out this corner, and then through this fast right-hand section, Turkey turn 8, you could call, we get a better run than the AI. It's a bit of a struggle this time because it is on a dry track, but we pull away, and I think it looks like we're not going to be under pressure. So here we go, guys. What a recovery this has been. Make one less pit stop than the AI. We've trumped them in terms of strategy. Come around the final corner at the American Grand Prix. Even though we got taken out by Sebastian, it's going to be P4. Satisfying or what? Brilliant result there. If you enjoyed that race, do remember to leave a like, guys. Yes, very happy with that. More points for us, and hopefully Jolien scored some points as well. Yes, he did. Shame it's P9, but more points in the battle with Williams, who had a solid result. So Lewis Hamilton takes the victory from Rosberg, Mercedes 1-2, and Vettel was leading the standings, so me keeping him behind us has helped the Mercedes out. So we should be pretty tight at the top once again. And we can see our teammate just beat Perez. Ricciardo, after the first corner incident, didn't recover. A solid result for Verline, with Manor not scoring any points this season. I think he's probably the guy with the best shout, and he got pretty close there. So we'll move on to the driver standings now. Vettel leads by 3 points. Oh, it's so tight at the top. That battle is definitely one to watch out for. And then looking down at, obviously, the key battle for P7, we are 19 points ahead of Bottas. That was a great result for us. We outscored both Williams, and yeah, we're pulling away from that pack we were battling with earlier on. So hopefully we don't end up in no man's land like in the final race and we can't change position. It would make it a little bit less exciting, but still, things are looking good. Over to the constructors, and after a solid result, we're still in P5, but only 7 points behind Williams. So Renault versus Williams, that's going to be an exciting battle for the final, I think it's 3 races. So if you have enjoyed this, do leave a like, subscribe if you want to see the rest of my career, and I'll catch you next time out. Goodbye.